Backer Adam Anderson was booked into jail last night.
That a 21-year-old woman told Athens police that on October 29th, she went to a house after having some drinks and woke up to Anderson sexually assaulting her while she was lying in bed. Remain in jail here for the foreseeable future.
Today is a truly monumental day, not only for NFL teams, but for thousands of individuals who have been building up to this moment for their entire life. You don't make it to the NFL within a span of a year or two. It's years and years and years of very grueling and dedicated hard work into training your body and your mind to becoming one of the best athletes in the world. And ultimately, as a result of it, a select few would have the opportunity to have their name called. Only 32 of those individuals have the honor of being a first-round draft pick. And if you happen to have been lucky enough to play on the Georgia Bulldogs defense last year, then your odds of getting drafted in at least the first 2 rounds are looking very good. Unless if you did something horrible to ruin your career before it even started. Now, before we get to the content, I want to let you guys know that this video is going to get demonetized. Whenever a video gets demonetized, YouTube is not going to push it out to a larger audience because, well, they can't make money off of it. And this hurts my content in the algorithm. You could fight back against that by just leaving a like on this video. On top of that, we're giving 2 of our Twitter followers $250 each for following me on Twitter at Mikerophone NFL. And once again, we're giving away $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? This video is being recorded before the NFL draft, and at the time that I'm recording this video, a man that is getting tremendous momentum towards being a #1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft is none other than Travon Walker. This is a guy that could go as high as #1 overall or even fall out of the top 5. And he is an individual that has benefited from a remarkable defense that absolutely dominated the NCAA last year and was even able to defeat the defending Heisman Trophy winner in the national championship game to win a national championship last year. This defense was built around some freaks of nature, like the aforementioned Travon Walker. We have Nakobe Dean. We have Jordan Davis, who has ran one of the fastest 40-yard dashes that we've ever seen a defensive tackle run. And that's before we even mentioned Devontae Wyatt, who has been surging into the first round as well. There's one individual who's considered to be one of the best defenders on the Georgia Bulldogs defense over the past couple of years that won't hear his name called today. But if he would have kept his nose clean and if he didn't get arrested, then we would be having a much different conversation. The individual I'm talking about is none other than Adam Anderson. So Adam Anderson was a linebacker for the Georgia Bulldogs over the past 3 years. And when you look at his statistics, you see that this man was absolutely dominant when he was able to play. He was able to notch 5.5 sacks in 7 games last year. Throughout his career with the Georgia Bulldogs, he's played 30 games, and in those 30 games had 67 tackles, 15.5 of them were tackles for a loss, and 13.5 of them were sacks, which aren't necessarily eye-popping numbers, but it was enough to convince scouts that this is an individual that in the future is going to be a first-round talent. Unfortunately for Adam Anderson, there was a horrific incident that took place off the field that is going to completely ruin any shot that he's ever had in making it into the NFL. Now, I wanted to give you a little bit of a precursor to this. There are cases like this in the past that we've made videos on, like La'el Collins, although La'el Collins was accused of something completely different, and ultimately La'el Collins was able to make it into the NFL and have a successful career, at least so far. We made a video on that called the La'el Collins murder mystery if you guys want to check it out after this video. But at the time I'm making this video, the story isn't complete and I only have what we have so far. So no matter what I say here, no matter if you believe what Adam Anderson did is true or not, this story is horrific. It's either about a man that had a great opportunity at a remarkable life to live a lifelong dream of his and play in the NFL and then squandering it because of what happened off of the field, or of him getting accused of something that he may have not done and then as a result he has to forfeit his dream. Either way, this is a sad story and I just have tremendous empathy for everyone involved. So for those of you guys that don't know what happened, Adam Anderson was indicted and charged with the rape rape of a 21-year-old woman. And the ESPN article goes like this: a grand jury on Tuesday indicted former Georgia linebacker Adam Anderson and charged him with a 21-year-old in a house in Athens, Georgia on October 29th. Now, it continues to say that Anderson, who was once considered a first-round choice in this week's NFL draft, now has an arraignment scheduled for June 13th. Now, Anderson is from Rome, Georgia, and was arrested on November 10th, and he was released on a $25,000 bond a week later. Then he was indefinitely suspended from the football team since the athletic department was notified of the allegation on November 2nd. It's kind of terrifying from a football aspect because the Georgia Bulldogs, who were the most suffocating defense in all of college football last year, were missing one of their best players and still were absolutely dominant last year. It gets way worse here because the police report from Athens Clarke County Police Department said that the woman told the police that apparently she went to a house between midnight and 7 a.m. on October 29th. After having drinks, the woman said she woke up while Anderson was raping her. She reported it to the police that day. Now, first of all, those accusations are absolutely horrific. I mean, that's all we really need to know. Girl goes to a house between midnight and 7 a.m., wakes up to Adam Anderson sleeping with her. That sounds like some David Dobrik dirty dom type of shit over here. There's no other way you could say it. It's absolutely horrific. But what's even worse is a second woman later accused Anderson of sexually assaulting her in neighboring Oconee County, Georgia, back in October of 2020. Now, Adam Anderson was not charged in that case. Now, originally you could make the argument, okay, maybe this woman might be, I'm not saying she is, but it is definitely a possibility, might be making this up, which will be a horrific thing to do to an individual if he truly didn't do it, because this is without a doubt going to ruin Adam Anderson's career. But when you have another case that popped up in a neighboring county very, very recently where he's being accused of the exact same thing, then it doesn't look good for Adam Anderson, especially for his hopes of making it to the NFL. This is a completely life-altering moment in his life. There is no way this man gets drafted. Maybe he could get a team to take a flyer on him as an undrafted free agent if he proves he's innocent and not a horrible human being, which, by the way, his lawyers had this to say about the situation, that Adam respectfully reminds the public and his supporters that he was not permitted by law to participate in the grand jury proceeding, which is totally under the control of prosecution. This means his defense was not presented or argued to the grand jurors. Adam will plead not guilty to the charge and continue his fight in court to clear his name and reputation. Adam once again appeals to the good citizens of Athens Clarke County to keep an open mind and not prejudge this case. At the same time, Georgia's Equal Opportunity Office is also opening an investigation in this situation, but it's no doubt about it, at the time of Adam Anderson's suspension, he led the Georgia Bulldogs with 5 sacks and was second with 5.5 tackles for a loss to go with 32 tackles and 14 QB hurries, and he didn't play in the team's final 7 games. There's no doubt in my mind he would have been a first-round pick. He was even ranked as the number 29 overall prospect for the 2022 NFL Draft by Todd McShay, and the 4th best outside linebacker by Mel Kiper Jr. at the time that he was arrested. Now, he still has private workouts for NFL scouts from 17 different teams, so not all hope is lost for him, but who would actually give this man a chance if what he's being accused of is true? I'm assuming what's going to happen is they're going to have to see how the case proceeds before ultimately coming to a decision and a conclusion, but needless to say, whether he's proven innocent or guilty, this is a horrific situation. Even his life got ruined and he can't make it to the NFL the way he wanted to, and he would probably miss out on millions and millions of dollars, or he is truly a horrific human being, and as a result of his horrific actions, the man pretty much threw his life away. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this, man. I'm going to be trying to do a live stream later on this channel where we do an NFL draft special. It's either going to go the entire NFL draft, or I might leave a little bit early just to make content on the NFL draft to put up the moment the draft ends. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.